What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay podcast. My name is Adam, aka CS Radical, joined as always, Kaylan, aka Catastrophe, Chris, aka Jen and Chris, and I have an announcement to make. I am leaving this show because I am turning into the technical producer because I can't have bad takes on the show that piss people off. I've lost my job.
Yeah,
Kaylan, you know what? I won't let him actually have the JRPG King if we're being really honest here. But you know what? He's decided. You know what? I don't need that role anymore. I'll take Adam's other job away, which is being the shit stirrer.
I'm gonna take everything that you love, Adam. I'm actually disappointed that I didn't know you were going to do this bit because my kids have Burger King crowns right upstairs. I could have put that on. It would have been perfect.
Oh,
that's great.
We can just do it in editing later.
Yeah, first
we'll put it in post.
First it was the Mass Effect fans, and now you've come in and pissed the hell off out of the Assassin's Creed fans.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I love it when I don't have to do any work now. I don't know what I'm here for. But I guess I'll just sit here and make good segues, I guess. But I mean, friggin' Moon took that from me too. So what am I doing here?
In the words of Will Ferrell, it's controversial, gets people going. That's what I'm here for.
Well, we'll definitely have some controversial things today because we're going to be talking about the best and the worst gaming controllers of all time. So stay tuned for that. But first, you guys know the drill. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. And also, I mean, you're already here. If you're watching on YouTube especially, you got that like and subscribe stuff. But don't forget, if you are listening on an audio platform, you can give us a rating. If you enjoy what we're doing, please do so. Share with all your friends. Don't forget our link tree as well, linktr.ee/pixelplay podcast, where you go to our Discord, socials, all that stuff. We do love talking to you guys in the Discord. It's always one of our favorite things to do. I mean, second to when we get really dumb comments on our YouTube stuff, and both Kaylan and I just have field days with it whenever it happens. Kaylan's nicer about it. I'm just like, nah, we're putting the troll hat on. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, you just troll. I can tell when it's Kaylan responding because it's a well-thought-out response and trying to actually further his point. And yours is just like, yar, or something. It's just nonsense.
What? He just goes
if it was a black flag comment, that probably would have been what I've done. So
there is one comment where Adam did respond just yar, question mark.
I can't remember what the context was for that. That would have been a while
I don't
ago.
think it needs any.
No, it doesn't. I remember the context, but I'm not going to tell anyone. Go find the video. It's fun. It's a short. You have to search through all of them.
Yeah. Go watch all our content there.
5-star all of them. That way you can keep track of which ones you've seen.
That's it. That's just how, yeah. Just put that thumbs up. I've seen this one.
And then they come back later and be like, I listened to 18 hours of your content. I still can't find it. And I'll be like, oh, sorry, I deleted that one.
Oh, we deleted the comment. Yeah.
But anyways, we'll talk about what we've been playing. I'll quickly go through because I haven't played anything new. I've gone back and actually played more of a retro rewind because the mod community finally came in clutch, so I've been able to properly mod it the way I don't have footage of what it looks like on my side, so the footage that you'll see on screen is not mine. It's just somebody playing the default game. But now that I have it, I basically made an anime version of everything, so I made a bunch of anime covers. So each genre has 100 different shows. I had to finagle some of them because not every category is going to work. Western is a content one. I can't think of 100 Western anime. So I'm like, what's the closest thing? Mechs. Perfect. So I use that. And then, of course, there are adult ones. So yes, there were very, very, very 18-plus anime that I use. Because yes, I do have that knowledge. I am a weeb. There are many ladies on the shelf behind me, so I'm not going to hide that. But also, my favorite joke, I was trying to figure out what to do with Christmas, because Christmas is a category in that. And I'm thinking, okay, what can I do with that? Because shows have Christmas episodes, but there's not really Christmas anime. It's just a one-off usually. So I was like, what can I do with this? And then the evil part of my brain was like, well, I can think of stocking stuffers and things that involve a lot of packages. So it is yaoi is what all the Xmas anime are. So that is my fun of it. So yeah, I've fully done all the upgrades. So now I'm at the point where it's just making money so I can fill the store because I've unlocked all the room upgrades. So it's just there's some empty space I'm trying to figure out what to do with. So now I'm just kind of doing it as a fun thing to the side just until I fill the place up until it's done, collecting every single release and everything like that. And I think I probably said it similarly when I did my initial review when I was playing the OG game. It's similar to what TCG Card Shop Simulator, I should say, was. It's just pure nostalgia. It's also like, I know some people are really averse to the kind of work-related games, but to me, it's chill. Like, it's just something I can put a podcast on in the background or put some music on. Or if I'm in a Discord chatting with people, I can play that and it's not requiring much brain power out of me. And I can just have some fun with it. And now that it's material that I actually know, like, there's an attachment to it now. So now I actually want to continue on. Because the problem I was having with the OG is that because everything's so randomly generated, like, there's some funny random, like, titles that come out of it, but it's not the same. So now that it's stuff that means something to me. And also on the Nexus Mods community, like, people have done much larger scale mods that have, like, shitloads of real movies and stuff. So, like, you can get that and tinker it however you want. I'm hoping that as the game continues to have updates to it, I want to see them expand it a little bit because, for example, they have arcade machines that you can make passive money on, but there's only 2 machines. I would love for them to either put more machines in, or I would love to be able to mod how those look so you could have, like, all these different machines and change what the video file is that plays on the machine, so you could actually have, like, footage of Marvel vs. Capcom or Mortal Kombat or the Simpsons arcade game. And then even that pinball machines, I'd love to see that get messed with and see where that goes. So I'd love to see them flesh that a little bit more. I'd also love to see them add, like, video games to the mix because it wasn't just movies for a lot of these stores. A lot of the times you were renting Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo games back then too. I'd love to see that possibility. And the only little thing that I'd like to see too is you only get to modify the front cover. I'd love to be able, even though you won't see it most of the time, I'd still love to be able to modify the sides and the backs so I could fully make those covers look as close to the real thing as possible, especially if they were ever to add games in. I'd love to get a full, just seeing that side red checkered Sega Genesis sidebar. I'd love to go and see that again. So, like, little things like that could just fully complement the nostalgia. That would be great. The only other little thing is you can't customize your office, and I hate that. I can't mess with my office and put cool shit in it. It's just whatever's there. So it kind of is a shame for that. But otherwise, the gameplay loop is what it is. It's the same thing every day. You're doing stuff on the return scanner. Eventually, you hire some people to take some of that workload off so you can go focus on other stuff. You just slowly expand the story. You're adding more library of VHS tapes. You're adding more genres in. You're adding more machines. You're starting to decorate more. So, like, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's now to the point that now that I've done all the upgrades, now it's just a matter of, okay, I'm just going to keep playing till I fill the store out the way I want it to, and then be able to, like, I'll probably end up posting in the Discord when it's all said and done what it actually looks like in full, so you can kind of see what I did with the place. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this game's turned out. I would put it at a solid 8 out of 10. It's really good for what it is. I still think there's a few things without the modding community, this game isn't nearly as interesting because the VHS tapes and stuff, they aren't that interesting because they just all feel the same. They just feel copy and paste, like AI RNG stuff, right? So it's not as interesting. So if you're able to understand how to modify it, whether that's through just somebody else's mod entirely or this tool that I can't remember what the username of the person was, but that I could put my own images in there and make it my own, that it made it way better in the long run. So I really do enjoy it. And if these work simulator games is something that you're interested in, this is pretty, especially if you're a kid of the 90s, early 2000s, this is a must own. So
yeah, I really like these, like, worker, like, simulation games. Like, I was a big fan of the Paradise Arcade or Arcade Paradise game. The one thing I don't know, I've not looked for it, but, like, the one I'd like to see is I'd like to see, like, a video game store, like, run like an old, like a 90s 2000
yeah,
game
I
style
imagine because this has gotten very positive reviews, and so is TCG Card Shop Simulator, that somebody's probably thinking about that too, right?
Yeah.
Or even something similar to Arcade Paradise, where it's just literally about owning a barcade kind of deal.
Yeah. I think, like, for me, like, the one thing that I want to see with these games is, like, a little bit more humor to it. Like, I think of these games, and, like, the one that stands out the most is, like, Job Simulator, if you ever played that one. Like, where, like, I'd almost, like, I know Job Simulator wasn't, like, a simulation aspect, but I'd like to kind of see it, like, be a little bit more wacky and humorous in terms of how it handles it, like just to kind of change up the loop and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think what I'd also really like to see too is I'd love to see what happens when a company with a little more money behind it actually really puts the screws to it. Because these games are still really good for what they are, but you can tell that it's more made on very low budget and it's made with a bit more love. I'd love to see what that passion could do with a bigger budget and see what like someone who really puts it into play. I'm not talking like graphically looks amazing. I'm talking in the sense of like, let's say somebody does a retro video game store vibe, but it looks retro, like 90s cartoon graphic sort of vibes and goes real deep with it. Like even to attend, like maybe there's like voice acting and stuff, like really going hard on it, so it really gets you immersed in that. I love to see what, you know, with gloves off and a much higher budget, what somebody could do with that kind of theme.
Yeah, I also like to see a little bit more risk, like because these games are very cozy and like that's the genre, but I'd like to see a little bit more of like the simulation aspect where like
they're not really doing anything crazy with it. It's just kind of checking boxes just because it hits that.
It's a task game, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like to have one that like is a little bit more of a business simulator where like, you know, you have to do marketing and like if you,
because that's another thing too. Like, this game doesn't let you do with prices or anything. You can't really set, like it's just all preset for you. It's just put them out. At least TCG Card Shop Simulator, you could mess with the cost of stuff. You could overly price that. You could be an absolute asshole, like a lot of shops at like conventions do, where they just grossly overprice their stuff. Like you could do that, or you could just make no money and just be the man of the people and price it for super cheap. So like you have that option in games like that. This game doesn't give you that at all. It's flat price across the board at all times.
That's the simulator we need to make. Is we need to make a convention booth simulator where you're just working at booths.
You know what? I'm surprised no one's done a con simulator game.
You know what? Lock it down. We got it here first.
Yeah, I'm expecting some royalties now, guys.
Yeah.
Or at least you know, free play code. You know, that's fine.
Yeah, shout out. You know,
that would be good.
You have your people talk to our people.
Yeah, but yeah, I love that game. It's a great little bit of fun.
Nice.
Chris, what have you been up to?
So first, I actually played through and beat Persona 3. It happened. I did get to the end.
Survive. What was the final hour count?
Only 45 hours. So I think
you did push through.
I did push through. I think it's because I was playing on easy, maybe.
Probably.
And there was some of the social links, the people I just didn't care. So I just hit the fast forward button as they were every time I talked to them each day.
Yeah, like
so
if you actually sit there and go through every bit of text and take your time with it, like it can add up so much faster. So
yeah. And I wanted to test because people constantly get lost in Tartarus, and it's like, oh, even though you don't need to go to the dungeon, some people are lost there. Go save them. And I know I talked to you, Adam. I'm like, how long can I leave them there? Because I don't feel like going to get them. I have other things I want to do. I actually left them for the rest of the game. I decided I am not going to go save anybody else who wanders in there, and it did not impact the ending, so I was happy.
And it's your own fault.
Yeah, it's your own fault for going in there. Don't go into school past midnight. That's dumb. But yeah, so I actually really liked it. The only thing is I don't have much to add from what I said like last week and the week before. My opinion of it is not changed at all. I never did get burnt out. I thought I'd get burnt out with the game. I still had that Persona addiction where I'd be sitting and it's like, oh, what game should I play? And I didn't even have to think that. It was like, oh, I want to go play Persona. So I kept picking it up. I kept playing it, and it was great portably. I barely played it on the TV, to be completely honest. And yeah, I ended up loving it. I think it's a near perfect JRPG. I'm sure
until you get to 5 Royal and realize, never mind, this is way better.
Yeah, like I have a feeling I'm going to be even more blown away. I'm glad I did it in this order. I'm now torn on what I'm going to do next because I think 4 is getting a remake, right?
Yeah, I think you're safe with taking 5 now because 4 is going to get a remake and it's going to be. I don't know what they're going to do to improve upon it yet, but I think you can safely take a crack at 5.
Yeah. And the story's not connected connect through them or anything like that, right? Like you don't have to play. I know they have similar things going on, but are they?
5 has 0 connections. 4 has a weird connection where it does for a moment take you to like it's around the same time. Like I think it's like a couple years after, but it's not like story tied. Like there's just one moment where you go on a school trip and you actually end up on Port Tatsumi Island.
Oh, okay.
But it's not like important to anything. Like I don't think none of the main characters should even show up. So
okay, it's going to be a while before I play a Persona game again. That's the only takeaway. Because
all right, I'll see you next month for it.
Yeah, it's gonna not next month. They are long. The 45 hours wasn't that long. That's like a pretty typical JRPG in the end. But I know Persona 5 is not going to go that quick. I just know it.
Oh,
Especially
Persona
the
5
Royal
is
Edition.
definitely not going to be as short as this. So
Yeah, no. So I'm glad I did this one first. It was like my introduction to the series, and without burnout or anything like that. So I did really.
I mean, technically you play Metaphor, so it's not quite, but into the actual Persona series itself, yes.
True.
Just for confirmation, just to clarify, I did a How Long to Beat. They have it with between 90 and 110 hours to complete the main story of Persona 5.
Yeah, they're especially with Royal, there's and the DLC there, like it has a lot of content.
Yeah, oh god, that's a big undertaking. That's like all the other games I would have
Like
beaten
when
that
Chris
month, so.
finally plays Persona 5 Royal, we're gonna treat him playing that game like Kaylan playing any game.
Play any game.
That goes back to like when we were playing Baldur's Gate, like how long that took.
Oh yeah. But the nice thing is now that I was done that, I was able to actually come up with another idea for what to game with. So you know how I've been going through and like revisiting old games I missed because I didn't have a PS4?
Yep.
I was like, I have another set of games that are just as old I've never gotten to because I have a big, dumb, stupid fucking backlog on Steam with
Confirmed.
like 300 games.
That we totally
so I'm
haven't
like,
named an award based off of.
I haven't named an award based off. So I'm like, all right, do I have games in there that kind of fit in that same, like, 2014, 2015, like, I have them, but I never played them. Turns out there's a shit ton. I found Dishonored. I found Thief. I found Yakuza Kiwami. I found Sleeping Dogs. I found so many games that I own.
That's a lot of good
that
games to go through too.
Yeah, you've not played Dishonored?
No, so guess what I've been playing? I've been playing Dishonored.
Oh my god, such a good game.
Yes.
I actually couldn't get into Dishonored, which was so crazy when like Deathloop was like one of my favorite fucking games.
Yeah. I was surprised because Dishonored I did install. I'm pretty sure I played this. Sure enough, Steam clouds are free, so my game save was there still from 2014, January 11th, 2014. I played the game for a couple hours and then I never returned. So 12 years later, I'm definitely way past where I was. I'm about halfway through the game. I'm going to not worry about spoilers. I haven't beaten the game, so it's not like I can give away anything
It's
huge.
a 12-year-old game.
Yeah, I beat just the level where you have to go to a party to take out a lady, but it's not like going guns blazing. Like you got to kind of sneak around the party. Well, you don't sneak around. People know you're at the party, but it's more like find out information, try and get her alone, and then take her out. I just did that mission right before the podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, I love this game. I remember
such a good
when
game.
I first played it, I was like, this is too dark and stuff for me. Like, this is like a dark game. I'm not really into this. Now that I'm playing it, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. This has more of a cel-shaded look for characters. Their hands are way bigger than they should be, like, for the rest of their bodies and stuff like that. Like, it's not a very dark game, so I don't know what my issue was. I am really, really enjoying it. I'm also loving that I've only played like maybe 4 or 5 hours and I'm like halfway done the game. That's really nice. I'm not going to lie after Persona.
Yeah, from what I remember, a lot of people said like it's not one of those games that overstays its welcome at any point.
Not even close. And I'm obsessed with the teleport action
Is it
you
like
can do.
Blink or something like that, or Flash?
Yeah. I think it's called Blink. I love that because I
Such a
am
good move.
getting around. It actually works pretty well. Like there's the odd jank that obviously the game will have. But like I'm running away from people and getting up onto a roof and then down and around. Like I'm using it to actually traverse and like sneak around enemies and take them out silently and stuff. It's just so fun. And like the world is not too big. It's actually a pretty small area that you kind of keep going around in and everything.
And that
I really
like
enjoy this.
that whale punk like aesthetic is awesome.
Yeah, the aesthetic is really, really cool. The only thing I've noticed, the only one complaint I have, and I think this is just like the age of the game, the sword mechanics when you get into a fight, where it's like, oh, you need to block and then try and instant kill them or else you're going to end up dying. I was dying way too many times in the beginning because it's like I wouldn't block exactly a time. I'd get hit by 3 enemies and then I'd be dead even though I'm playing on easy. Now, you reload like right from where you were and stuff. It's not too bad. It just did take a bit to get used to the sword mechanics just because obviously, more modern games have done it just that bit better that it does feel a little off. But other than that, everything else is flawless. I love the crossbow. I love teleporting around. I love the choices in the game. That first mission, you take out some guy in his house. I can't remember his name, some sergeant or something. And he's got like another guy there that you kind of want to try and save. You can try and knock him out and take him out non-lethally. You can try and just find him in the house and kill him. He's poisoned another guy that you actually want to save. You can switch their drinks. So the one guy actually just poisons himself, and then the guy you want to save just gets away naturally because he didn't end up getting poisoned because you switched the poisons and stuff. There's so many different options, and each one feels like fun to try out. The guns blazing, the stealth approach, like it actually feels like it's open-ended, like a sandbox kind of level design.
And there's consequences, like if you go in guns blazing, or like of the mind that, you know, no witnesses if everyone's dead, like there's repercussions in the world of like leaving a trail of corpses behind.
Yeah, and I've felt that because I do that. I leave lots of corpses. So I'm actually upgrading right now where when enemies die, they turn to ash. I'm like, yep, that's what I need so that there's no witnesses because this is getting brutal. They are getting real pissed off at me in this city. But yeah,
I love this game, and like for me, this is like scratching that itch that we have with like Splinter Cell or like Hitman and stuff. It's like right up there, and I think it's one of the better, you know, stealth action games that we have. And like I remember this one and I really liked it, and I played the second one too, and I love that one as well. Especially the second one. There's like a really cool level that involves time travel. So like if you're liking this, Chris, I highly recommend getting Dishonored 2.
I really want to get it. It's also on Game Pass, so I'm debating whether I'm going to look at prices during, like, say, the Steam Summer Sale. If Dishonored 2 is like dirt cheap, I'm just going to buy it instead of bothering with it just on Game Pass, so I can like, because this also runs really well on the Steam Deck and stuff too. I've been mostly playing on my TV, like through my PC, to get like 4K, 120 frames per second because it's like an older game. Like, why not? But even portably and stuff, this is run really, really well. So it's a very fun game to even play a little bit on the go.
Yeah, it's one of those like awesome sandbox stealth games that we don't really get anymore, and I kind of miss them.
No, yeah, this one of the things I've noticed from this is like I miss older games. They feel more like gamey, like they feel like actual sandbox games versus like trying to be too realistic, if that makes sense. Yeah, I actually miss this. This hits that like Xbox 360 vibe like perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So loving it, absolutely loving it. Can't wait to finish it. I'll probably have it finished in the next few days because it doesn't take too long to beat. No. So, yeah,
cool.
What about you, Kaylan? Well, I know what you've been playing, but I'm going to ask anyways. What have you been playing?
Thanks for asking, Chris. I got Saros last week, so I've been playing through that, and I am absolutely loving this game. Like it
actually relieves me to hear that you're loving it because that means it's a lock that I'm going to. So.
Like I think you're gonna like it. It's very much like. So for context, I played Returnal. I did like a little bit, and I was like, this game is not for me. As a dad, I don't have a lot of time to play video games. I don't have a lot of time to get good, and so with Returnal, my big hiccup was that like, one, the runs were way too long, and then two, like if you die, you don't really get anything. You're not progressing anywhere. Like you start right back at zero. And so Saros deals with all those problems. And this game feels actually a lot more like Hades than it does Returnal. Obviously, from a gameplay perspective, it is very much like Returnal. It's a third-person action shooter kind of game.
Yeah, like,
bullet hell.
Looking at the footage here, like it looks like Returnal to me.
It does.
Every way.
But the way I would describe it, this game is more of a combination of like Hades meets Doom, particularly like Doom Dark Ages. So the idea is that like you are a member of the 4th expedition. You're basically going to the planet of my goodness, I think it's like Karakos or something like that, or Karakos. It doesn't matter. You're going to this planet to like for like this mining corporation, which gives once again like very alien vibes.
I was gonna say Wayland Yutani.
100%. It's 100%. Like they're like, yeah, like we're here to make profits, like trillions of dollars, and it's like, is it dangerous? And it's like they've deemed it a profitable risk for you to go and do this. So like it's really cool from that perspective. The character's cool, and what you're doing is you are going to figure out what happened to the 3 ships that went before you that were supposed to go and set up like a mining colony, and that's what you're. It's a bit of a mystery there, and I don't quite know what's going on with the story, but I'm like intrigued. So you go out on these missions to go explore and see what happens. You are called an enforcer, and as you're exploring, you kind of encounter these aliens that are going on, And what ends up happening is you end up dying, and you can get basically brought back to, or you get brought back to life later. The cool thing about this is that you go through, and as you're going, you're collecting, I think it's called like Lucenite or something like that, and that's basically like a currency that you can carry forward to upgrade your skills and equipment for the next round. So every time I'm playing, like the runs are lasting about 30 minutes, and after that time, like you die, and then your stuff you can upgrade, like how much like shields you have and how much health you have, whole bunch of different characters. So like my character has it that like if I die, I get a second win and I come back and I get like a second life. So lots of ways to upgrade and tweak the game and like make it more accessible, that even if you die, you get like you're still making progress and getting ahead in the game. And also, like I said, the runs, I think that my longest run has been 45 minutes, and once you complete a biome, you can actually just teleport to that biome. You don't have to redo the first biome and get to the second level. So it really like respects my time, and I appreciate that. And so I'm really liking it. The bullet hell is awesome. The controls feel great. The gunplay is awesome. Like this, just like Returnal, really uses the dual sense in that like you have an alt fire by holding the trigger just halfway, or doing like a big blast with your power weapon by holding it all the way down. And one of the cool mechanics is that you have a shield. And so if you're watching this video, or if you're not, enemies shoot different colored bullets at you. So there's a blue one, and that one you almost want to absorb, because if you put your shield, it kind of fills up your shield meter to allow you to use your special moves. There's a yellow one, which if you get hit, takes damage, and then if you're in a certain situation, it actually removes how much health you can have. And then there's red ones, which are just to be avoided at all costs. So it's really cool how they like do this mechanic of like what you want to get hit with, what you don't want to get hit with. And like, yeah, it has a very much a Doom feel, but the overworld and overarching aspects of the game do remind me of Hades. So, yeah, I'm really liking it.
It has
very much
that you're very much having to pay attention to, like, and react accordingly to what's in front of you. It is
100%.
It isn't just like there's a script to it. It's like no. You could get any sort of combination of stuff at any time, so you got to be ready for whatever.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like the biomes are like somewhat predictable, like not predictable in the sense of like bad, but you are going to get into like, there's going to be a room in the biome where you're going to get locked in with a creature that you have to defeat. Like right now, this is called like a solar cage. And so you have to defeat this villain, before you can move on to the next one. Where it shows up, who knows and stuff, but it's going to be there before you get to the final boss. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm really liking it. Like I said, I enjoy the progression system. I'm curious about the mystery. I like the vibes and the aesthetic. And it looks gorgeous. Like it's a great game, and it very much has that one more run feel to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Did we lose Chris?
No, I'm here. My camera just decided to stop. Not sure why. Continue, and I will.
That's
try.
okay. The picture of your backlog will just appear instead. It's fine.
But yeah, I highly recommend it. If you were a fan of Returnal, you're gonna like Solaris, or Saros. Saros. I keep getting thrown off because the main company is also called like Soltari, so it's kind of close. But yeah, if you are a fan of Returnal, you're gonna like Saros. If you were not a fan of Returnal but had like the idea of what it was doing, you're gonna like this as well. If you absolutely hated Returnal, this game is not for you.
Yeah, that's really cool, and it's good to know that everything's working just fine, and they've improved upon it really. Because that's the thing that I noticed with what little I did see of Saros. I'm like, oh, so this looks pretty much like just Returnal with improvements, which is all I really could have asked for.
It's 100%. Like, this is like Returnal walks so Saros could run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to playing that at some point.
And it really, like I said, takes advantage of the controller.
Yeah, they've been one of the few people left that seems to actually pay a little closer attention to using the DualSense as to what it's intended to.
Yeah. Adam, I was setting up for a segue.
I tried my best. Sometimes I just have to ignore it. Remember, I'm bad at this job now too. I don't have a role in this.
I'm throwing softballs at you.
Whatever. We're moving on. So yeah, we were talking about doing controller related stuff. So, unfortunately, Chris, you're not going to get to see his lovely face anymore because apparently something is just not making his camera want to work.
I may even just leave and come right back and see if that fixes it.
That's what my dad said.
I would honestly, at this point, buddy, say no, just because I know the last time that we had somebody leave the call and come back, it really messed up the timing on the recording, so let's just not worry about that.
Good point.
So, It's okay. Your backlog is going to carry the weight now on screen. So
Sit there and think, sit in the dark and think about what you've done.
So I have devised a small list of controllers, both good and the super gimmicky,
Nice.
and we're going to rate them, not in terms of scores, but you're going to have to put them in 3 different categories. You're going to either say that they are worthy of being like the best of the best, so you would give them a trophy for it. They're passable, they check boxes, they do what they're supposed to, or you throw them in the trash. Straight up. Throw them in the trash. So, we got a nice handy-dandy list here.
Wow.
Bunch
Look at this.
Love it.
of different controllers of different vintages. Yes, the 1992 Super Nintendo.
I'm noticing a lack of Mad Cats here, and that offends me.
You know, I thought about going real deep on it, and I went, "There's already too much to pick from. I'm not going to go too far on this." So what we're going to do is we're going to flip between each of us, and you're going to get a controller to pick from. You're going to first put it in a category that you want it to, and if you want it, and if you think it's only passable, and we're both sitting there thinking it has to be in the trash, we're going to have to sell you on changing it. So if Kaylan really hates the Switch Joy-Cons, and the rest of us go, "What the hell, man? They're great," and Kaylan's gonna be like, "Nope, you're not changing my mind." Unfortunately, it's stuck in the trash. So that's the fun of it. Is there may be an unmovable opinion that might not put the controller where we all want it to be in the end.
Wow.
So, Chris, I'll give you the layup. Super Nintendo controller, go.
Trash. No, I'm kidding.
All right, fair.
That is a trophy. That is a trophy one to me.
That's 100% a trophy one.
Yeah.
It's got double the buttons, and then it had the shoulder buttons. Like,
Yeah,
you have to remember where this came from. This came from a rectangle with 2 buttons.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to that one.
It was superior in every way.
every way.
Yeah,
and it's still good.
I don't think there's much of an argument on that. Like, is it the best of all controllers? No. But in the 90s, it didn't get much better.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Oh, so good.
All right, Kaylan, you get Dreamcast.
Oh, man. It's passable. Like, it tried to do some stuff with, like, little screen thing, but, like, no one's, clamoring for the Dreamcast controller. But, like, it was, like, I think, if I remember, like, the first big, like, fat controller that, like, fit in your hands well. So, like, it's got that going for it, but
It did have that comfort for the big, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything amazing.
Mm-hmm. So I have the Joy-Cons. I'm gonna only put it in passable. There is a temptation for me to put it here because I hate look. I hate them on their own when you take them for like just using one half of them, because as a person with not child-sized hands, they hurt like a son of a bitch. I hate them for that.
I strongly disagree with you, sir. I put those as trophy.
But they're fine.
These are the most versatile controllers that we've ever seen. They make your game a handheld controller. They can be split into 2-player controllers. You can put it into the little dongle and make it into a handheld control, like a regular size controller. It has motion capture, or it has like motion tracking, so you can use it as a motion controller.
It's not even my favorite motion
controller. You can tilt it sideways if you need to. Like, it does so much. And like, they gave you 2 right out of the box. Like, the amount of stuff that this controller does is amazing. And I think that this is probably one of the best controllers. Not ergonomically comfortable, but from the amount of functionality that it can do, I don't think any other controller can match it.
Well, you're not pushing me off the edge on that, Chris. It's up to you, but I don't think you're going to push me off of this one.
My only issue with the Joy-Cons, I really do agree with Kaylan, except it doesn't have a traditional D-pad and there's no way to get one. And that really bothers me because Nintendo Switch Online exists and I want to play fucking Donkey Kong Country, and the stupid buttons instead of the D-pad make it so hard to do that it's like... I
recognize how good these things are for how versatile they are, but there's issues with these things that I cannot get around. Like I said, playing Mario Kart on one Joy-Con is one of the most uncomfortable gaming experiences I've ever had, and I held
But
the
you
N64
can play it either
controller.
as a tilt motion controller or as a regular controller.
They're still extremely uncomfortable.
I'm with Kaylan on that part, but again, no D-pad. It just hurts me. It hurts me. It's like my favorite part of a controller is the D-pad. How beautiful is the D-pad?
That's the whole point of this, is it's going to have to hurt somebody at some point. And you know what? If I get to take my role back by lighting the comments on fire for this podcast, because I guarantee you that this will be clipped, 100% this will end up being a clip. People are not going to like what I have to say about this thing, but I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I don't think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, because quite frankly, sliced bread doesn't hurt my hands as hard. But anyways, Chris, you get the Guitar Hero controllers.
Okay, here's the thing. Like,
Look, I know you enjoy playing Dark Souls with this one, but give us a fair rating.
I don't even enjoy playing Dark Souls, period. Talk about games I found in my backlog, and I'm like, It's great when you're playing Guitar Hero. I have great, incredible memories playing Guitar Hero with the guitar. But it only worked with a few games, right? It worked with guitar games. So it's kind of like incredible for the few moments where it thrives. And then afterwards it's like, well, now this has to sit somewhere in my basement. I don't know.
I thought about putting the whole set, but I was just like, nah, everybody knows the guitar.
I'm kind of torn. Like, I want to put it in the trophy because of Guitar Hero, but like, it's the least versatile controller. It really has only one purpose. So I don't know. Maybe just in the middle.
I mean, it makes sense.
Checkbox?
It does what it does what it's there for.
It does what it's supposed to do, right?
Kaylan, what are you still mad about the Switch controllers?
No, I
Come
disagree
on.
on the Rock Band and the Guitar Hero controller, because you're like, oh, it only does one thing. It only needs to do one thing. Like, do you say like, oh man, this fridge is great, but it's too bad I can't drive it to work? Like, no, if it does a good
What do you
job at
mean?
what it's supposed
Smart
to,
fridges are the future, man.
if it does what it's supposed to do well, then why do you care if it's not doing anything else? Like, it has one function, and that's what it does.
Yes, I'm going to leave it where it is, I guess,
my
for my
God.
opinion.
Kaylan's been pissing other people off, so now we're pissing him off in response. I mean, I honestly would have put it in trophy because I do like them like, because they literally are the best version of any gimmick controller. I don't think there's ever been a gimmick
100%.
controller.
I
that
think
does
the
a
drums
better
are
job of it.
slightly. I think the drums are better than the guitar, but like,
I disagree. The problem is the closest we got was the Guitar Hero World Tour ones, because they had the two cymbals, but those things were so easily fucking breakable that it doesn't work. And honestly, like the Rock Band ones that were just 4 pads, they were good, but like there's no cymbals. You don't get that satisfaction of it.
it's all bass, man. It's all bass.
It's all bass.
But yeah, like the guitar controllers, like, I mean, the one that I picked was the Les Paul version, which is just fantastic. But like, can you imagine if Ubisoft hadn't royally, or not Ubisoft, sorry, Activision hadn't royally like burned this franchise in the crown, we could have been having like flying V controllers.
So I don't think it's Activision. Like, I think that, like, I was watching a TikTok about it, and they made an argument that like Guitar Hero was doomed to fail because as the game got more popular, the royalties got more expensive to play, and like it was going to cannibalize on itself at some point. So
They also went out of their way to push so many of them so fast.
Yeah,
like if you had
it was
put
too
one
fast.
out every 4, like if this had been a one game per console generation, this probably had better staying power.
I don't think it needs to be. I think what it should have done is it should have just been a platform like Fortnite, where it's just like, hey, there is the Guitar Hero, and then we just kind of like.
I think
add songs
Rocksmith
to it.
pretty much figured it out when they decided to be like, why don't we just give you a real guitar and you go have fun? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I'll give Ubisoft. That's
They
it.
get that one. They got one.
You have Rocksmith 2014 still works today.
Yeah.
That's true.
So.
Another game in my backlog on Steam, if you're wondering.
Do you have a guitar, Chris?
I have an acoustic guitar.
That's not going to
sitting
work.
right
I don't think.
If my camera would work, I know it does. They actually have, it's an electric acoustic.
Oh,
So
there
I
you go.
actually got the adapter for Rocksmith to learn guitar back in Christmas of 2014. And
One
I
day,
have
Chris
never
will be
tried.
able to be able to play Wonderwall for us.
I have never tried once. I don't know where the cable even is. I think it's in my box of cables.
Mine's literally sitting under the desk. Once in a blue moon, I'll be like, fuck it, we're pulling the guitar out. Let's go. Especially because the modding community, oh my god, the modding community in that game is incredible.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff that's actually in there is insane. Like, you can... And even, like, meme songs are in there. So, like, there's a lot of stuff you can learn how to play in that game. But I digress. Kaylan, I could have just done the current Xbox ones. I just ended up grabbing the Xbox One version, but this pretty much applies to the Series S and X anyway.
It's all the same. I would put this as trophy tier. I think this is the best controller of all time. It is so comfy to use. It is reliable. I love the fact that it uses AA batteries. I don't have to charge it. Like, there is nothing wrong with this controller. This controller is absolutely perfect. Ergonomic, functional, tested and true. I'd say the DualSense, we're not going to get into it yet, but like, it's close, but I think I slightly prefer using the Xbox controller over the
Yeah, and as
PlayStation
someone who owns the Pro version of this, having the better grips, it is unparalleled.
Unparalleled, yeah. I've got the Elite as well, and
The Elite.
it is just god tier controller. Yeah. The only thing with DualSense is the haptics, the vibe, like the rumble can be so specific and can be better, but controller wise, holy crap! Whether you're using the D-pad, the analogs, it doesn't matter. Like it's a very comfortable and perfect controller.
So that brings me with the DualShock 4. We'll obviously get into the DualSense later, where there's some more improvements to it with the haptic feedback and stuff. As a controller, as it is, it's fine. Like, I don't have anything negative about it, but I'm not going to sit here and give it a shining review of it, because its big gimmick is the trackpad in the middle, which honestly didn't do much and really was a feature that wasn't needed and still isn't needed.
It just became a giant button.
Yeah.
It's a giant select button to bring up the
giant,
map.
It's a giant button, but also it had that stupid light bar in the front that just ate your battery.
Yeah.
The only game I've seen it used well for is there's a game called it was Blue something. Oh my god, it was like a Time Crisis level like arcade shooter. And you would use that as like your aiming function, so it was almost like having a light gun instead. That was cool. I like that. But beyond that, it's just another controller to me. Like, the PlayStation controllers as a whole for me have been just solid and never better than that.
Yeah.
At least in my
I
opinion.
Agree. I do think it's one of the better PlayStation controllers, but it's not.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Chris, first real interesting one, because this can go in many different ways. The N64 controller.
This is tough because there's the right answer and then there's my biased personal answer.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, right.
Because I actually love the N64 controller, not for everything, but like when you played N64 games, GoldenEye, you played Mario 64, you played Star Fox 64, like it worked really well for the games that were designed around it. Now, if it was a game ported to the N64 from like PlayStation, you were fucked left, right, and center, because like it was completely different in design. But for N64 games, I really, 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 really liked it. However, given like how I have played some of those games, say through emulators or on re-releases on modern systems, and all of a sudden you hold like an Xbox controller and you play Mario 64 or GoldenEye and that kind of stuff, it's like, wow, never mind.
If you play GoldenEye with a PC mouse and keyboard modifier, you sit there and go, what the fuck are we doing this whole time?
Yeah. I mean, even just the re-release of GoldenEye on the Xbox, where it had the modern controls with the right joystick actually being usable and everything, like it really, really did change it. So, like, I don't know. I feel like this might need to go in the trash. It's not like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I would ever reach for it over any other controller choice at this point. I have a lot of great memories, and I did really love it, but I don't know. I feel like after new controllers came out, they kind of killed this one, if that makes sense.
I'll also simplify the statement. It's one of the ugliest controllers that's ever been made.
Well, of course it's ugly. It's for aliens with 3 hands, but that's who else was playing games?
And whoever thought the C buttons were a great idea needs to go to jail.
Well, we needed them because there was no second joystick. There was no anything. So if you wanted to move a camera around like you would with a mouse on PC or a second joystick like you would on a different type of console, like you wanted to look up as James in James Bond, you needed those C buttons. Kaylan, tell me, where would it have
This
gone?
is the best episode already because Kaylan is just so angry.
You have no respect. They were treading new ground. We were going to 3D. We had no idea. This is like Apollo mission stuff. We don't know what's going to be up in space. Hell, our rocket ship doesn't look good. It's just a fucking rocket with a seat attached to it. That's what they're doing here. Is it pretty? No. Is it the best? No, because we're figuring it out at the time. And so, like, yeah,
And they
show
were
some
wrong.
respect to the Trailblazers. Put it in at least passable. Is this thing janky as hell? Yeah, but this walks so that all the other controllers could run. How dare you?
I do agree with you.
How
It's not
dare
like
you?
I disagree with you.
You
It's
do, though,
just-
because you put it in trash.
Well, yeah,
Because he's
like,
right.
Just because it was helping me walk so I could run, I dated a lot of questionable girls so I could figure out how to get to the good one. That doesn't mean I have to like put all of them up on a pedestal because it's like, well, yeah, they were janky, but at least they helped me get where I am. I don't know.
No respect.
Can't wait for my wife to hear that clip.
You don't stick your Z triggers and crazy.
But it did. I will also throw out a little praise for it, like the Rumble pack.
No,
the
you've
first
made your
Rumble.
choice. You've made your choice.
Oh, that Rumble pack was great. It was pretty great. And the memory card was in the controller instead of the system too. That was pretty cool. Although you couldn't use the memory card and the Rumble pack at the same time.
And it had adapters. You could literally put your Pokemon into Pokemon Stadium from your Game Boy. I was able to see my Pokemon 3D for the first time. You're gonna
That's
put this.
true.
You're gonna put this in the trash. Get out of here. I'm glad you're off camera.
I'm glad you're. If you saw me, I have like almost tears from laughing so hard. So
All right, well, we'll go even older, Kaylan. This is the old Atari CX40 joystick.
Oh, this is trash. Put it in trash. It's just
thank God.
It's just a stick with a button.
yeah, I've used that. It is even as a kid, I used it. I would go. My friend had Joust on Atari, and we'd try and play it, and I'm like, what the like? Obviously, I didn't say it like this, but like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
They're like,
this
hey,
is the worst.
do you want an extra button so you can do two things? They're like, nah, we're good.
No, I'm just gonna try and move left and right, but it won't go where I want it.
So I didn't play in the order. Has anybody here actually used the Steam controller? Because I have no opinion on it.
You want me to go get mine?
Yeah. So
You can't
was on
show us,
camera.
Chris.
I'll flip over and move to the Genesis controller because I
That's like
actually
me
doubt
saying, "Hey,
this
look,
one.
look at my Steam controller. This just happens to be off camera. Can I see it? No."
It's literally over at my couch. I used it maybe 6 months ago to give it another try.
Well, your camera decided that we don't need to see it, so
No,
I'll do the
and-
Genesis, and then we'll let you take the Steam controller after that.
Deal.
This hurts me. I really don't think this controller has aged well at all.
No.
Also
No, I have
because
to agree.
like it's ugly as shit, and 3 buttons side by side in retrospect now makes no sense. It's really weird on the fingers to try to like go from A to C. Like in retrospect, like I guess they were being different, and they were like, well, we can't do 4 buttons. That's just copying now. Or maybe at the time they were like, well, we're gonna
No.
beat Nintendo. We're gonna have 3 buttons. They have 2.
That was it. I think it's that the NES controller was there, and they're like, "This thing's a rectangle. Let's like make it more comfortable and give another button,
What's the opposite of rectangle? Curves.
a boomerang. Let's do it."
You heard it
Like-
here. The opposite of rectangle is a boomerang.
The Mega Drive and the Genesis are great consoles, but like similarly to the N64, I don't have fond memories of that controller at any aspect. So yeah, I'm not a fan at all of this one. I would be okay with this one never existing ever again.
As somebody who has this controller as Lego set up behind me, which again you can't see, perfect day for the camera to not work. I have to agree with you. I don't think it ever returned to this controller.
I don't think
played-
I don't think having it at a Lego makes it any better.
Feels
Damn
about
it! You
the
know
same.
what? I should have put the Lego Game Boy on this. No.
Oh, damn it! That's right behind me too.
I did consider putting handheld consoles on here. I'm like, no, that's not the same thing.
That's a whole other episode.
That's a whole other episode. Yeah, whole other episode.
Yeah, you're right. I got to get the N gauge on here.
And every new PC handheld, it's just 30 other of them. It's like
One's just an iPad.
I mean,
But anyways,
Everything's
Chris,
an Xbox.
Steam controller.
okay, so here's the thing. I had high hopes for the Steam controller. The day I went to the Fallout 4 midnight launch by accident, because I was actually picking up the Steam controller and the Steam Link to stream my PC to the TV. 2015 was a great year.
I feel like every time you tell this story, how much stuff did you buy that night? Because I feel like your story is always like, I went to go buy one thing and I bought this instead. Like,
No.
I went to buy this-
You're thinking whenever Humble Bundle had something on there. That's why. the
no,
backlog
I
is
feel
the
like
way
I've
it
heard
is.
this story from Chris several times, and always it was a different prompt of, I went to go buy this and I ended up buying that.
I went to go buy the Steam Link, which is the little box that let you stream your PC to the TV, and the Steam controller that worked with the Steam Link. Yeah, and your PC in general.
I'm just waiting for the store. It was like, all I went to was just to go get some milk, and then I walked out with like 17 timeshares.
Adam, I gotta be honest, I'm a little concerned. I think Chris has a spending problem.
Really? You think so?
I think he has an impulse issue.
He did. He's been better, okay? He's been better.
There's a backlog that disagrees about that.
I'm playing Dishonored. I'm finally getting to it.
Let's put it this way: it's so bad that his camera, to help Chris not embarrass himself further, has decided to never work again, so that no one ever has to know.
It sucks. My camera's fixed. I just can't make it work in Riverside.
I just like to imagine Chris at like some sort of like focus group and just be like, yes, I love it. I will buy everything.
Yeah. They're like, no, Chris, that's yeah. All right. But yeah, so the Steam controller. I wanted to love it because one, it's Steam, and also it has a lot of. So they invented Steam Input, where you can go in create basically your own controller setup for every game individually. You could load up World of Warcraft, which has no controller support whatsoever, and have it when you hold down one of the trigger buttons on the back, it brings up your inventory, and then you could use the right trackpad thing to go through your inventory and stuff like that. Baldur's Gate was another one they showed off, which Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, no controller support at the time, all that kind of stuff. I had high hopes. The issue is, one, as I mentioned with the Joy-Cons, no D-pad is like really bad for me. There's not even close to a fucking D-pad on here. They actually have it on the left trackpad that it has like these lines so you can feel where the right, left, up, and down would be, and you can actually click it in. Does not give the same satisfaction, not even close. And the other thing that's wrong is that there was no second joystick. There's no right one. Because they're like, well, you're going to move your character with the left joystick and you use the right trackpad for your camera, like mouse movement. It actually did give me more precise shots and stuff in first-person shooters than a right joystick, because I could imitate it with my thumb more like a mouse, like I was using a trackpad on a laptop, basically. But again, it's just like, while it was like a bit more accurate, it just was so much less enjoyable to use.
It sounds like it just doesn't feel like you're playing a game on a console kind of deal.
It didn't. And it allowed you to play certain games you couldn't play. It had some really cool features, like you could actually wake your computer from sleep with it and all that. So if you had your computer hooked up to a TV, like, it made a lot of console-like features show up. And I really appreciated Steam Input. But the thing is, they got smart, and after this controller and people were like, it's good and it's bad, and they were all over the place with it, they just opened up Steam Input to all controllers. You could connect an Xbox, a PlayStation 4 controller, a PS3 controller, a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. They just kept adding all these controllers to Steam, and you could use Steam Input and still do all the customizations with any controller you wanted. Which, in my opinion, kind of just killed the Steam controllers, like, one small feature that was keeping it alive. I still use that Steam Link, like, up until I just hooked up a computer right to a TV again. But I stopped using the Steam controller after, like, a month. I gave up on it. I kept it. I was like, maybe one day I'll need it. But it just didn't hit at all as a controller for me, so I'm putting it in the trash.
That's fair.
Yeah, I kind of look at it and like it's weird, like with like the armrest like kind of jolting out, like it's weird.
It's weird, yeah, because other controllers it goes more back. Like if you hold an Xbox or a PlayStation controller, the controller actually where the grips are go backwards. I don't know if you can tell from the screenshot, this one, it comes towards you. So you're gripping it weirdly. Like, it's completely different than all controllers, and not uncomfortable, but really fucking weird, and takes like way too long to get used to, and all that kind of stuff too. So, but I appreciate this controller because that means the Steam new controller can come out, which actually has a D-pad and 2 joysticks and the pads and everything. It's everything in one.
I don't see the appeal of the pads on the controller. Like, I always think back to the Simpsons episode where like Homer and Lisa are in the car and Homer's holding like 2 ice creams and Lisa's like, do you want me to hold one of those for you? And Homer's like, you wanted fruit, you got fruit. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, you wanted PC mouse and keyboard, you got PC mouse and keyboard. You don't get the controller too. You made your choice.
I love ever since using the Steam Deck, because the new controller is just the Steam Deck without the screen. And like, I have searched the internet and stuff on Steam Deck. I go into desktop mode, and it's like if you're you're looking at adding some like non-Steam games to Steam, and you're searching through the internet for it and all that. I'm using the right trackpad as the mouse, and the left one as a scroll wheel, just moving my finger in a certain thing. I can search websites faster on there almost than I can like on an iPad when I'm trying to use a touchscreen for all of it. It's crazy how quick you actually get used to those 2 trackpads. Now, if you were going to use this just as a normal controller at a computer where you have a mouse and keyboard in front of you, you don't need the Steam controller. It's really for the one niche thing of PC is hooked up to the TV, and you do not want to have to walk over to that mouse and keyboard or have a keyboard on your coffee table because it's a fucking coffee table and you don't want to keep one there.
All right, that's enough time on something that goes in the trash. Kaylan, the original, the bulky OG Xbox controller.
The Duke, sir. The Duke. I think this one, like, I'm going to put up there with the trophy as well. Like, it was, like, massive and fit perfectly in your hands. I don't think it's as good as, like, the new Xbox controllers, but as a first controller out of the gate...
There's a size difference. I need to fix that. There we go. That seems about the right size now.
Like, that controller is just absolutely... Like, it's not as good as the other ones, but it definitely holds up. So I'd say it's in a trophy section.
I agree. I think I could pick up that controller today and still use it, and it would feel good still.
Yeah.
So that gives me the OG DualShock controller. I know what I said earlier about PlayStation controllers always being mid. This is the lone exception for me because at the time, for games of that era, I think that this actually was in a good spot. Could have used a joystick at the time? Yeah, probably. But like, we still weren't quite there yet. I'm actually okay with it where it is now. But I could be talked. This is one of those cases where I definitely could be talked down. But I do think it's at the time worked very well for what it was.
How do you put the DualShock 4 in passable in that it's improved everything on the DualShock or like the original
Because I'm
controller?
looking at it at the time, not...
Then let's revisit the N64 controller because we just dealt with that.
No, it's like it still sucks at the time.
I would probably bump this one down unless we were talking about the version that came out with like a year or two later, where they added the joysticks. Once they added the left and right joysticks to the PS1 controller, it like
Then
I immediately ran to the store. Yeah, I ran to the store and bought
playing
that
the
upgrade.
PlayStation Classic with this, and in my hands, like I actually really did enjoy the feeling of it again. So like I definitely have a much more fondness of it than I originally thought. So.
I'd rather play the N64 controller than the original PlayStation.
Well, you're okay with having bad opinions. That is your role in the show now. So
You are also the resident Nintendo fanboy. We know that.
I played 3 games.
all right. Well, for the other Nintendo fanboy, you got the Zapper.
That is 100% a trophy for me. Like, I loved every game that used that zapper.
One game used the Zapper.
And it was the best.
Then let's revisit the Guitar Hero conversation. I'm expecting consistency here.
On this show?
We have to start somewhere.
This is why.
There's no metrics here. Everything is. There's no consistency.
I put the rule in that it's not by committee. The person who puts it in has to be moved. That makes this more fun. And it's paying dividends, just not for the person I was expecting right away.
Kaylan, see, there's an issue with the Guitar Hero guitar. If you walk right up to the screen to use it, you can't cheat. With the Zapper, you could just walk right up to the screen and cheat. Therefore, it gets the trophy.
Because
And
you
the
are
dog.
the trophy.
And if you had bullets left, you could pretend to shoot the dog who was laughing.
Oh
at
my
you.
god, not that long ago. I'm going to see if I can find the story, but I think it was The Onion. Somebody did a joke story just not that long ago. Literally, like in the last week, I think I saw it that said, thank God, the dog from Duck Hunt's finally passed away.
Oh, that's funny. It was the only good NES controller, the Zapper. It was the only good one.
True.
Yeah, it might have just been a meme that came back up again because apparently
I've
there's been
seen
a
it,
story
yeah.
posted before.
Yeah, I remember
That's still
seeing that.
funny. But anyways, so are we keeping it in the best spot, Chris? Because it's really funny.
Yeah, no, it's staying.
Perfect. I love it.
You can walk right up to the TV,
All right, Kayla,
unlike
well,
the guitar.
You want to do something? You can cause chaos. Do you want to put the GameCube controller in the trophy as well?
No. To be honest, I didn't have a GameCube. I played it at like friends' houses, and it's a weird controller. Like
It is a very weird controller.
Nintendo was like, "Hey, that N64 controller, that's at least a passable controller. But what can we do to make it weirder?" And Nintendo's like, "Don't worry, I got this."
Nintendo
And they
was
came
like,
with it.
okay, can we like be like Kojima and just come up with the most batshit fucking crazy controller possible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's weird to hold. Like the buttons are just all over the place. The buttons aren't even consistent in terms of size, shape, or function. And I think one of the joysticks isn't even like circular, but rather is like an octagon or something like that. It's a weird controller.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo people complained about there not being a second joystick for N64, and they're like, "Oh, you want a second joystick?" And then they put whatever that yellow thing is. That's like not
I think
even
it's called
the
the
same.
C-stick. Isn't it called the C-stick?
I think so.
It might be.
Yeah, it's not the same size as the other joystick on the controller, or even
Mm-hmm.
feels the same. Like it's, oh yeah.
I'd put this one as like low trash, high trash, low passable. I don't know. It's functional. It does the
It's
job.
got to be one of them.
I'm gonna put it in passable. It does its job, but it's not great.
All right. No, I'm just kidding. The NES controller, honestly, like, it's weird. Like, I wish I could put it in trophy, but like, in retrospect, in holding it again through the NES Classic, it is extremely uncomfortable.
It's not
Extremely.
not a comfortable controller.
No, not at all.
There's a reason
At-
why
at
kids
the
didn't play
time,
video games
it
all the
was
time when they were
good.
outside.
At the
Yeah,
time,
no.
it was life changing. Like, I remember the first time I played Mario on this thing, and it was, for lack of a better word, it was game changing.
Oh,
But like, even in retrospect, like the fact that it was just there's no handles. It's literally just prying corners into your palms. Like, it's a bad idea. But because it's still
it
at
hurts.
least good for what it was at the time, it doesn't go in the trash at least. But
Really great D-pad. Really great D-pad.
We're learning about Chris. He loves a good D-pad.
He loves a great D-pad. Oh, yeah.
Loves
you
the
want-
D-pad.
well, if you want to smack some D-pads, Chris, you got the bongo controls.
God, I never even used these things. Did anybody else use them?
No.
I did. So I'll tell you why they're in the trash, because my parents would kill me every time I used them.
I was gonna put it in trophy just to piss off Kaylan, but yeah, I think they're probably.
It does
trash.
one thing.
It's just, I just was gonna.
It's
do
a
it for the
controller
joke.
that only works by making noise. It's not the greatest idea if you have kids, which I don't blame my parents for hating it.
Yeah. No. No, I'd say it's trash. Leave it in trash, please.
All right, Chris, Switch Pro.
Okay.
Wait,
so-
important clarification. We're talking Switch Pro or Switch Pro 2?
yeah.
I think this is the OG.
That is the OG. So I've had a Switch Pro 1 and a Switch Pro 2. And first of all, both have great D-pads. No. The Switch Pro 1 was actually a really solid controller. I actually really, really enjoyed using it. The only reason I'm not going to put it in trophy is because the L2, R2, I don't
The
know.
A and B buttons are in the wrong spot.
No, that's the Nintendo. That's going to always be like that. In Steam, you can switch Steam to actually switch the A and B if you want the Nintendo feel. I don't mind that. It's the, I don't know what Nintendo calls it, but the L2 and R2 buttons, the triggers. They're
The
just
Z button or whatever. Z like.
Yeah,
I think
the
it's
ZL,
ZR and
ZR.
ZL. Yeah. They are just like digital. They're not like analog triggers where you can actually pull them down like on the PlayStation and Xbox. So in a racing game, if you press it, which they use to go, it's like you just floor it. There's no way to like kind of like, oh, I'll slow down for this turn. It's either your foot is all the way on the gas or all the way off the gas.
Have you never been in a race, Chris? That's what you do. It's all gas, no brakes. Like,
But yeah, like there's just certain games that like it just felt weird using it for that. So I'm going to put it in passable. If this was the Switch 2 controller, I probably would have put it higher.
oh,
because
Switch 2 controller is like god tier. Like,
Oh my
in terms
God.
of size, function, even weight. Like, it is the nicest controller to hold in terms of weight. Like, it's got.
Yeah.
Has,
I
but it's not
have
heavy.
played with it. I would have definitely put that in trophy. That's a Switch
Yeah,
controller that does
absolutely.
deserve a trophy.
Yeah, the joysticks are also some of the nicest feeling smooth joysticks I've like ever used for the Switch Pro 2. Absolutely.
Kaylan, the last real fun one, the PlayStation Move.
So I'm going to give context. I've never used the Move controllers from strictly like a Move game, like a motion control game, but I did use them with VR, and they're surprisingly good at what they do. Like, they're easy, they're intuitive. Like, the controls, like, you're really just using two buttons mostly, and I find it tracks very well, especially like in hindsight compared to the Nintendo Switch controller. So I'm going to put these as passable.
Yeah, I agree. They're actually a lot better than I think people would expect them to be. Because I think a lot of people forget that they're also part of the VR experience. But, like, if you were just playing them on the PS3 days, like, they were fine. But, like, once you add them to the VR mix, like, they actually got a way more
Yeah,
versatility.
and
out of them.
I'm considering the VR capabilities with this, not just as a Move controller.
Yeah. I was
Smart.
tempted to
Yeah.
bring in the other VR controls, but I'm like, I don't think any of us have really gotten deep enough to use any of, like, the other controllers to really have an opinion of it, so.
No.
This, I believe, is the Xbox 360 one based on the battery pack on this.
That is
Goes
a
with the
360.
rest of them. They're
Yeah.
they're all solid.
Throw it in the pile. There, it's a trophy.
Yeah.
Chris, that gives you the big boy,
The Wii
the
U.
Wii U, the gamepad.
I got that on launch day. Holy shit.
Was it while you're buying Fallout and Steam Link?
Anyways, yeah, I was just there to get the Steam Link, and then, God, yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. Like, I actually did really enjoy this Wii U pad. I think the Wii U fell on its face with like actually having enough games and utilizing all the features they had and stuff.
And it was a
But
dumb name for marketing.
And it was a
It was.
horrible name. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's just an upgrade.
I don't
don't
think
want
it's
to
a
buy."
bad console or controller. Like, it's not great, but like it's fine. It's just everything else around it is just F tier across
Yeah.
the board.
Absolutely. Yeah, because like the game that came with it, I think it was called like Nintendo Land. There was one game which was
It was
hide and
fun.
seek. 4 people were on the TV with normal controllers, and then one person had the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah, Nintendo Land
And-
is underrated. Like, I would even say it's the best party game they've put out.
It's the best party game they've ever put out because that 5th person can see their own screen and go and hide while the other 4 people are using the TV and stuff. Like, that to me, that was top tier Nintendo right there. Like, I had, when I played that game at launch, I was like, this is gonna be one of the best systems I've ever bought. I was so wrong. But yeah, like, I loved that. Plus they had like the forums and stuff on the Wii U. You could actually go into game forums and stuff like Steam has, and they were just on the gamepad and you could respond in there. They even had forums for live TV if you connected your cable service to it. I remember my ex at the time, my girlfriend at the time, she was watching like the Oscars and using the Wii U gamepad to converse with other people watching through the Wii U. Like, it was wild stuff.
I mean,
for
you had
for
all
the time.
7 of you in a chat room?
Yeah, there was a surprisingly large amount of people. It was like live comment on YouTube, but for like cable television. It was pretty crazy. So I'm gonna put this in like passable. I thought it was really cool, but again, it never got utilized, and it eventually just became like that's where the map would be when playing an Assassin's Creed game or Legend of Zelda. It was the map screen. It was like when they'd have a shitty use for the second screen on a DS. So, yeah.
Yeah. Kaylan, the Wiimote nunchuck. Yeah, this one's actually kind of tough.
It's hard because like going back to these, they don't hold up amazing. But like for what they did and like what they accomplished and stuff, it's hard to say. I think these are passable. I think like they do a lot. They're really cool. They're really innovative, and like what they accomplish is amazing. But I mean, I don't want to do waggle controls. Like that's part of the reason why I don't play Mario Galaxy. Is I don't want to waggle. I don't want to like have to just point and click at things. Like I think of all those games on like the Wii that like I'd love to play, but I don't want to do the waggle, right? Like Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Like I don't want to do like a sword waggle, right?
Like for playing Wii Sports games alone, easy.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
But for everything else,
yeah, like I can't think of a game that was like good from having like the controllers other than Wii Sports.
Yeah.
They made a console around one game.
They truly did.
well, that leaves us with the DualSense, and well, we put that there. Haptic feedback is so fucking cool when it's used correctly.
Oh my god, yeah.
Easy decision for me.
No,
Yeah.
I think even the
Playing
size difference from the
Astrobot
PS4.
and Astro's Playroom alone, like, are some of the coolest experiences I've ever had with holding a controller in my hand.
Yeah. The only thing I that dissuades it for me is like I hate the stupid like tracking balls, like the trackpad thing. Like it just detracts from the controller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But at this
it
point, like,
doesn't have much
because
of a
it's so underutilized, like it almost blends in with the controller now, so you don't even really notice it. Because with the old one, like it was very obvious that there was a trackpad there because it would have these weird dots on it.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is just a plain guard, so it almost kind of just matches with it.
Also, not a huge fan of the buttons. I hate the fact that the buttons are just like white on slightly less white.
Yeah, there are other controllers you can get that obviously solve that problem, but the base version, yeah, they could have done a little bit more to make it stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a DualSense Edge. I've got the Pro or whatever. I got one open box, and that honestly, that's one of my favorite controllers. Like it really does fix the like the white on white isn't there anymore. It's like black buttons with the black trackpad and all this kind of stuff. The extra weight, all that kind of stuff. It really does feel a lot better. Yeah, but I do think that it is a trophy level still.
So that's the full list. I'll give you guys the chance to, just for funsies, if there's anything that we didn't put on there that you would like to talk about, just as like a last final thoughts on this thing. Anything that we missed that you think would belong on here somewhere? If you just want to throw a meme one on there.
Gosh, a meme one.
Because like the Virtua Boy would go in the trash. There's one.
I mean, the obvious one is the Super Nintendo bazooka because we all never used it, but we all played with it with our friends and pretend we were shooting bazookas with it.
Yeah, that's trophy tier for sure. Trying to think. Oh, there's the NES had like the Power Glove.
Yeah.
There's the dance mats from like Dance Dance Revolutions. That's kind of a controller for your feet.
Yep.
What else was there? Yeah. Unfortunately, it stopped being gimmicky and it went more like you need this Super Pro GameSir controller because
You know what?
it can
I'm
do
gonna,
all the
I'm
crazy
gonna add a
stuff.
special one to the trash because it is one of the ugliest things ever. Do y'all remember the Atari Jaguar?
Yes, I do. I don't remember the controller though.
The one that looks almost like a fucking phone?
Oh yeah. Why?
Just to add this to the trash as the king of the trash. Look at this ugly piece of shit.
Yeah, that is not very attractive. I don't understand.
So
Are there any
The oth-
controllers that you put in the trophy category that weren't on the list, apart from the N64 controller?
The one that we're missing on
part's
the-
over.
the one that we're missing here is the Steel Battalion controller. The one that's like
Oh,
basically.
that's fair.
Steel Battalion controller.
Have you not seen this? You bought this game and it came with like a full cockpit. Like,
That's fair.
Setup.
You know what? Yeah,
and you
that's
gotta pull this up so
super
Chris
fair.
can see it. That what came with
What
the controller.
the hell is that?
That's a Steel Battalion controller.
You remember that game on Kinect, Chris, that didn't work, the Steel Battalion one? That they were trying to emulate this with Kinect.
Oh my god.
So this is how you control the game.
Oh my god. That
I got a
is
chance to try this
fantastic.
once. I was at like a video game exhibit, and they had a Steel Battalion controller, and I got to play it. It was hard as hell to control.
It's such a cool controller, though.
Oh, right? Like from an
That
immersion
is
standpoint?
cool. That is very
How much
cool,
was
yeah.
it when it came out? I'm curious. Give me a second.
Let me see.
I'm checking. Original cost $625. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Originally was only $200.
200
US.
But it was a
In
40
2002.
button controller.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, the only other thing coming to my mind is the original PS3 controller, not the one that shipped with the unit, the one that was like demoed with the system when it was first being revealed.
The boomerang.
The super boomerang. Like I made a boomerang joke with the Genesis controller. That was
The opposite
like,
of a rectangle.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite of
Oh, I
rectangle, which is
forgot
a
about
boomerang.
that thing.
Yeah, that was just like bam, like whoa, how do you hold that?
Adam, you're missing the obvious one also here was the Kinect.
The
That's not
Kinect
a
itself,
controller.
Yeah.
Xbox would disagree with you.
Yeah,
Where
'cause
where
that
would you put the boomerang, Chris?
If I mean
Oh, it's
that's
trash.
god tier. Like, oh, we don't have that one. No, that is absolute trash. If that had shipped with that, I would have been really pissed. I still would have eventually got a PS3, but I still would have been pissed.
While you were buying Fallout Steam Link.
Yeah, I actually bought this controller in the Battalion one when I was out getting the Steam Link and ended up getting Fallout 4.
Alex is like, son of a bitch, Chris, I told you just to go get milk.
Well, the game companies, milked every dollar out of him with all those controllers, so
Yeah, they did.
See, my Segway game's fucked. Anyway, any last thoughts, or are we good to take this amalgamation of terrible and good controllers off the list here?
You did the N64 dirty. I'm disappointed in both of you.
Good.
Hey, I love the ends. I'm a Steam guy, and I put the Steam controller in there.
It doesn't show, Chris. It doesn't show. Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, apparently I hate Sega, Nintendo, and Steam, which are like my three favorite ways to
it's
play
good to
games.
know that the truth has finally come out today, Chris.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, that's going to do it for us. So, hey, I'm sure y'all have some opinions about this list.
Let us know.
Actually, you know what? I also realized, for the audio listeners, we didn't quite summarize everything. So let's just quickly go over the ones that went on each list. So you know what? I'll do that. In the trophy list, we put the Super Nintendo. We put Xbox One, 360, and the original in there. Although you could put the Series SX ones, and it's all the same. Like they all just work really, really well. The Zapper, much to Kaylan's chagrin. The DualSense from the PlayStation 5, and we just added the Steel Battalion controller because it looks fucking sick.
It does.
In terms of passable controllers, we put the Dreamcast, the Switch Joy-Cons, again, also to Kaylan's dismay. The Guitar Hero controller, also to his dismay. It's just a running theme of this show. The DualShock 4, the original DualShock, the GameCube controller, the NES controller, the original Switch Pro, not the second one, the PlayStation Move, the Nintendo Wiimote and Nunchuck from the Wii, and the Wii U gamepad. And then in the trash, much to my happiness and joy because of Kaylan's reactions, the N64 controller, the Atari CX40 joystick, the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive 3-button controller, the Steam controller, the Donkey Kong bongos, and then we added the Atari Jaguar and the PS3 demo boomerang controllers for good measure.
Heck yeah. What a perfect list that doesn't need any editing.
Exactly. We should do more things like this where it's just, look, the ratings stay where they are and there's nothing you can do about it, and we just see who blinks first.
Yeah. Definitely. This is a new thing.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for this week. So thank you so much for checking us out here. Like I said at the beginning of the show, if you enjoy that content you're watching on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. This Friday, Chris and I are doing more tier lists, but we're doing a slightly different variation of Final Fantasy party members. So we didn't do like just straight S, A, B, C, D, F tier. We did do a little bit of finagling, but it basically just sums up to you're really fucking cool, you're kind of cool, I don't remember you all that much, and why the fuck are you here? So, you'll have that to look forward to on Friday. Saturday, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do MLB one more time before my actual real life softball experience starts, and went, no, I think I've grinded enough in that game. I think y'all have suffered with me enough. So I'm going to flip over to, I haven't decided if it's going to be the Sega or the Super Nintendo version yet, but I will be playing a classic for my time growing up. It's going to be the Micro Machines racing games.
Nice.
From the Sega Genesis Super Nintendo days. So look forward to that. 9:30 sharp a.m. Eastern on the channel on YouTube. So come hang out there. But otherwise, that's going to do it. So you guys know the drill. Share with all your friends. We'd love to hang out with y'all in our Discord as well, which you can find at our Linktree, linktr.ee/PixelPlay podcast. And we will see you on the next one where, I don't know, either Kaylan's going to piss you guys off or I'm going to piss him off. Either way, it's a great show, so I don't know what y'all are complaining about. So anyways, take care, and bye-bye for now.